Hi students, good afternoon all of you. So American literature, today is the second lecture of American literature. You must have done your homework as to through my books also. So today I'll talk about Eugene O'Neill. Why I have written Eugene O'Neill here, though there are so many authors, because जैसे कि शेक्सपियर को अगर हम ब्रिटिश लिटरेचर में ना पढ़ें तो ब्रिटिश लिटरेचर अधूरा हो जाता है. In the same way, if you don't study Eugene O'Neill in detail, American literature is also something like that. As Shakespeare is the father of, you can say, the British drama, in the same way, Eugene O'Neill is the masterpiece. He is the father of American drama. Though there are other superiors also, but Eugene O'Neill is a great dramatist. He is basically the Shakespeare of America as far as American drama is concerned. And if we talk about Eugene O'Neill, he has written immense number of dramas which have become very popular and which have been studied in all the universities and colleges all over the world. And it was Eugene O'Neill who proved to be a chief insurgent against the dramatic conventions and the romantically established himself as a symbol of Renaissance in American drama. And yes, he was a Nobel laureate as well as 4 times Pulitzer Prize winner. And Eugene O'Neill's plays gives us an expression to the fragile character of human existence. He has studied so many dramatists and he was also very much influenced by them. उसने कहीं पे अपने को एक्सप्रेस किया है कुछ शब्दों में और लिखा है, आई रेड अबाउट एवरीथिंग आई कुड ले हैंड्स ऑन. हमने सब कुछ पढ़ा है जहां भी हमारे हाथ गए, चाहे वो ग्रीक्स हो, चाहे वो एलिजाबेथियंस हो, एंड प्रैक्टिकली ऑल द क्लासिक्स. एंड यस, ऑफ कोर्स, ऑल द मॉडर्न्स like Ibsen, like Strindberg, and especially if we talk about Strindberg. So such is the vivacity, such is the power, such is the level of his dramas that we are actually owed by the level of dramas which he has given to the society. And yes, one of the most important things which I want to tell you in Eugene O'Neill's drama is the human relationships. He has talked about the human relationships in all of his plays in detail. अगर मानवता में, अगर हम मनुष्यों में मानवता नहीं है, ह्यूमन रिलेशनशिप्स नहीं है जिसके ऊपर हमारी पूरी सोसाइटी खड़ी है, तो सब कुछ दुनिया में बेकार है. Okay, so now I'll discuss in detail about Eugene O'Neill as a man and how he has written so many immense plays and what have been the sources and what made him Eugene O'Neill and what is the real factors that we have to study in Eugene O'Neill. So listen properly. Why? Because Eugene O'Neill is such a great author that not only for NET but for a student of English literature it is very important that you should command some of the major dramatists of America, or you can say some of the major authors of America, जिसमें कि एक यूजीन ओनील भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. जैसे कि आप पूरा ब्रिटिश लिटरेचर करिए और शेक्सपियर छोड़ दीजिए, so this means you have done nothing. In the same way, Eugene O'Neill is supposed to be one of the topmost dramatists of America. देखिए होता क्या है कि हम रिलेशनशिप्स की बात करते हैं, तो रिलेशनशिप्स में क्या होता है, there are many factors that cause the death or loss of relationships. बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स होते हैं जब हमारे रिलेशनशिप्स खत्म होते हैं या कोई रिलेशनशिप का अंत होता है. एंड अ हेल्दी मैन, चाहे हम हो, चाहे आप हो, चाहे कोई भी हो, he wants to connect himself with society because we are basically a part of society. And every man wishes to connect himself with society, with nature and with family. But an unhealthy man or person cannot belong. क्यों? क्योंकि उसको लगता है कि हम समाज से अलग हैं. आपने देखा होगा कि हमारे समाज में बहुत सारे ऐसे डिप्रेस्ड, बहुत सारे ऐसे साइकिक लोग होते हैं, अनहेल्दी दिमाग से होते हैं, जो अपने को बिलोंग नहीं करा पाते हैं. Why we die for belongingness? Why? Because we are a part of society. हम दोस्त क्यों बनाते हैं? हम रिलेशंस क्यों बनाते हैं? हम अकेले नहीं रह सकते इसलिए बनाते हैं. We have to belong to somebody. That is the sense of belongingness. And this sense of belongingness, which is so important for all the characters, for all the human beings, and even if you see the animals in the jungles, anywhere, you will also see that उन animals भले वो बोल ना पाएं, लेकिन they also feel like to belong to somebody. Human beings, they want to live, but they are heaped into a world where it is impossible to belong and to live. And it results in the loss of human relationships. हम लोग, man is not a machine, and we can never be a machine also. Truthfulness, karuna, tolerance, ahimsa, forgiveness, love, brotherhood, equality, liberty, fraternity, sympathy makes a person human. ये सारी चीजें अगर हमारे अंदर हैं, तब हम एक इंसान हैं. And a virtuous man alone can belong to his milieu. Tensions between religions, between religiousness, between secularism also result in the loss of human relationships. Jealousy, hatred, violence, avarice, exploitation, alienation, fear, clash, conflict, anti-people policies of the government all result in loss of human relationships. Poets, novelists, dramatists, why they write? They write to make our world better and to make human relationships better. So the characters of Eugene O'Neill, they try to live as forcefully and vigorously as they can, but they find that they are in chains. They find that they are in trap. They cry for freedom. They want to live. They want to belong. They cannot do so. Why? Because they do not fit in any system of American democracy or capitalism. They oppose all the patterns thrust upon them. They make their own patterns. Why? Because they protest against the society. And all the patterns offered to them by the society, they never cease to live. They live in darkness. They live in sufferings. And they fail to belong. But it does not mean that they do not want to belong. Eugene O'Neill wants to show that man is at the center of creation and he is one of the highest of all animals. There is nothing beyond man. And the characters are shown developing psychologically. And the great merit of humanism of Eugene O'Neill is that it transcends all the patterns. It cannot be labeled. It is not rationalistic. It is not communistic. It is not democratic. It is not Christian. It is not Hindu. It is not Buddhist or Islamic. Eugene O'Neill's commitment is only to life. And his dramas try to answer the great questions of life. Eugene O'Neill's characters miserably fail in human relationships, but they cannot live without it also. And his dramas are essentially tragic in spirit. But the great tragedy lies in the loss of human relationships. But it does not mean that the dramatist is an enemy of human relationships. The disease is described in detail in order to cure it. And the characters of Eugene O'Neill always look towards human relationships. He has nothing to do with the divine. He is 100% human and right for human beings. He has nothing to do with the Christian humanism. He will not accept the pattern. He observes men clothing together into social masses and suffering unimaginably. The humanism of Eugene O'Neill is very original. You cannot catch the dramatist. He is not adept. He has not adopted any ready-made model. And so, he is Shakespearean in this sense. He may rightly be called Shakespeare of America. As the world is changing, Eugene O'Neill's scholarship too is changing. And it must change also because his characters are not human liabilities. His characters are not limited in their thoughts, feelings and actions. Eugene O'Neill is definitely a major and perhaps the best American dramatist of human relationships. His position in American drama of human relationships, his position is certainly higher than Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams, William Waugh Moody. And somewhere I personally feel, students, that he is ever fresh, evergreen, and his dramas will never become stale. जैसा कि शेक्सपियर के dramas कभी stale नहीं होते. And a study of the characters of the 21st century is essential. Our world is changing. So Eugene O'Neill का जो scholarship है, that also should change. And the dramatist is not advocating any philosophy which is misanthropic. He is a pro-changer. His characters are full of human quality and they live and die for the human existence, for the human relationships. And the dramatist observes people. He finds that their outer life is unsatisfactory, but their inner life is far more chaotic and disintegrated. But they live by their faith. Their faith is not Christian or any other faith supplied by the dramatist. He does not supply faith to his characters as George Bernard Shaw would do. He describes their characters as they are. He paints them in their conditions. And to read Eugene O'Neill is to feel the presence of his mysterious characters. The characters long for human touch. They long for warmth in the human relationships. It does not matter whether they succeed or fail, but they live and die for the human conditions, for the human feelings, for the human bondings. They live on earth with other people also. They want to belong to others. So this is what I wanted to share with you, students, about Eugene O'Neill's characterization, about his world of dramas. कि जितने भी उसने dramas लिखे हैं, they talk about relationships. They talk about that agony, that pain, that suffering. Eugene O'Neill के बारे में शायद आपको नहीं पता होगा कि he was born in a hotel and he finally died in an hotel. And the characters of Eugene O'Neill find a crack in the world made by God. As I have told you earlier also, students, that they want to turn hell around them into a paradise. They want to turn all the evil into goodness. All Eugene O'Neill's characters are broken. But this does not mean that they want to live in that broken condition perpetually. The desire for human relationships is alive and burning in their hearts. This is why Eugene O'Neill is relevant as Shakespeare is to India and to the entire mankind. His characters live by suffering, the breaking, thinking, feeling. They are sandwiched between the pangs of life and the pangs of death. He describes the darker, the solipsistic, the pessimistic, the spectacle side of his characters. But it does not mean that there is no ray of hope. He portrays a horrible world, but the wishes of the dramatist is to make people live better. हर dramatist की एक wish होती है कि हम समाज में एक अच्छाई दें, हम लोगों को वो चीज दें जिससे लोग एक better जिंदगी जी पाएं. And herein, precisely like Shakespeare, both of them are great dramatists, which will be read and reread in all the centuries to come. Why? Because they throw light on the psychological aspects of the human relationships. Just like our dramatists, who Kalidas, Bhavbhuti, Shudrak, and so many others. And the treatment of solitariness and separateness simply suggest the presence of human conditions, human terms, and the loss of human relationships. In Eugene O'Neill simply affirms the need of human relations more emphatically. All things are double day and night. चाहे वो good हो, चाहे evil हो, चाहे joy, sorrow, love, hate, loneliness, etc. The need क्या है हमारी? The need is to probe into the reality of things in Eugene O'Neill. And one thing more, students, Eugene O'Neill का relevance आज के समय में deny नहीं कर सकते हम. He is relevant to Indian society as he is relevant to American society too. And the chief quality of his dramas is a concern for the human beings. And the gap between the rich and the poor has widened. The gap between the elites, between the commoners, between the whites, between the blacks has widened. And Eugene O'Neill has waged a war. उसने लड़ाई छेड़ रखी है for the preservation of certain values. And his struggle is important even today. His dramas are a historical record of human relationships. His plays help us in understanding our times in a better way. He is forceful dramatist. He is a forceful dramatist, undoubtedly, like Shakespeare, like Kalidas, like Bhasa, like Sophocles and Aeschylus. We may not get the proper answer to many of our contemporary problems in Eugene O'Neill, but we certainly get his sincere efforts to understand the pursuit of happiness of his characters. They may not get happiness, but they never fail to pursue happiness even. The characters of Eugene O'Neill are forced to live in a world which is deadly materialistic and capitalistic. People are money-minded, but this money-mindedness cannot buy happiness for them. Eugene O'Neill is not in favor of status quo. Its movements towards a forward direction cannot be stopped. If it does move forward, it moves backward. And in the absence of the harmonious and the creative relationships, the society will be compelled to move backward. This, in nutshell, seems to be the message for Eugene O'Neill's dramas. He fights heroically against the forces which are pushing the society in the back direction. He expresses deep faith in his characters and their urge to belong to the society in which they live and grow. And his popularity in India, in America, and other nations is a good sign for humanity. The deeper currents you will find in the plays of Eugene O'Neill about human beings. The dramatist is worried, is actually worried. Why? To see the loneliness, to see the alienation, suffering, and the tragedy of his characters. यही डिसइल्यूजनमेंट आपने वेस्टलैंड में देखा है. किस प्रकार से जो हमारी समाज है, जो हमारा सिस्टम है, वो कितना लोनलीनेस फील कर रहा है. उस टाइपिस्ट का आपको एग्जांपल दिया था मैंने. See what she has done. Why? Because of frustration, because of alienation, because of loneliness. और यही हमारे समाज में एक ट्रेजेडी है. So Eugene O'Neill is such a master worker, is such a great dramatist. Like Shakespeare, is a Shakespeare of America, that his plays disturb us from within. And a current of human relationships always flows beneath the plays of Eugene O'Neill. Man may behave like a dog, but he cannot be a dog. He can be a devilish, but his human emotions and humanity cannot diminish. The human sanskaras, संस्कार जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं, of the characters of Eugene O'Neill always attract us. उसके जो कैरेक्टर्स में जो संस्कार हैं वो हमें बहुत अट्रैक्ट करते हैं. And this attraction increases. It can never pass into nothingness. And when we read Eugene O'Neill का कॉर्पस हम पढ़ते हैं, we see that the sanskaras of his characters strengthen the human relationships. Eugene O'Neill's success lies in digging at the roots of sickness of his times. And just like a true surgeon, he sees the disease and prescribes the medicine. जैसा एक सर्जन होता है कि डिसीज को देखता है, उसको चीर फाड़ करता है, तुरंत दवाई लिख देता है. तो Eugene O'Neill is such a great dramatist that he is like a surgeon. He immediately understands the disease and he prescribes the medicine. And whatever we are describing here, whatever I am teaching here you today, it is basically the disease and the medicine, the disease and the medicine. He does not aim at justifying the ways of God to men like Milton. He's not Miltonic at all. He's a human being who writes about the pleasure, about the pain, about the struggle of other human beings. Of course, the world he depicts is a sick world, but so is the world of Shakespeare. The fair and the foul are contrasted in Shakespeare's too. The inner sickness and the outer sickness are shown clashing with each other. The characters do not believe in the old God. The failure of science and the failure of materialism do their worst. Both have destroyed human beings. The human, you can say, the panorama, the relationships, the characters are deeply satisfied. They find themselves in the world where rat race is their destiny. हम सब कहां भाग रहे हैं rat race में? खुद ही नहीं पता कहां भागे जा रहे हैं। वेदर दे लूज और गेन, दे रिमेन अ रैट आफ्टर ऑल। हम नुकसान खा रहे हैं या हम या गेन कर रहे हैं, बट अल्टीमेटली इट इज अ रैट रेस। सो कहां पे मिस्टेक है? द फॉल्ट lies in the materialistic and the scientific world in which man is dehumanized. They are afraid of death and cannot find meaning in their lives. Why? Because we lack comradeship. We lack creative cooperation. उसके कुछ plays हैं like The Great God Brown, The Desire Under the Elms, the Iceman Cometh, Morning Becomes Electra, The Emperor Jones, The Hairy Ape. If we talk about The Desire Under the Elms, which is a great play about desire, which is peeping out under the elms, उस बंगले के अंदर, उस बंगलों में elms के पेड़ लगे हुए हैं, उस घर के अंदर जितने भी कैरेक्टर्स रहते हैं उनके मन में कहीं ना कहीं किसी प्रकार का डिजायर है. So in his play Desire Under the Elms, he talks about the past. The conflict between the father and the son shows the same conviction. And both the plays are tragedies. One deals with the past, one deals with the modern life. If we talk about Desire Under the Elms, it is quite successful as a tragedy. And The Great God Brown is unsatisfactory as a tragedy because of its failure to achieve the tragic significance and meaning. But both the plays aim at unity, at harmony, at sympathy and good relationship. They work for creative cooperation, and the father and the son in Desire Under the Elms are not united in their minds. जैसे आज भी हम अपने समाज में देखें तो जब डेकेड्स का गैप होता है तो फादर एंड सन में काफी नॉन कोऑपरेशन जैसा हो जाता है. हेंस दे सफर अ लॉट. और यही रीजन है कि आज के यंगस्टर्स, चूंकि वो अपने पेरेंट्स का कहना नहीं मानते हैं, दे सफर अ लॉट. यूजीन ओनील राइट्स हिज प्लेज टू फिनिश दिस एलिनेशन. वो अकेलापन खत्म करने के लिए लिखता है, वो एक्सप्लॉयटेशन को खत्म करने के लिए लिखता है, एंड क्रुएलिटी इन सोसाइटी. एंड हिज प्लेज हेल्प अस इन अ बेटर वे. His contribution towards humanity and the understanding is praiseworthy and epoch-making. The unity of human beings is necessary in Eugene O'Neill's world, a society where human beings cannot relate to each other, in an unhealthy society and a sick society. He depicts a sick society where human beings cannot connect to each other. And all the plays of Eugene O'Neill reveal the power of the dramatist, of the genius for whom the earth is and should be the best place for love, the best place for life and work. Unfortunately, it is not so because of the excessive materialism whose only aim is baap bada na bhaiya, sabse bada rupaiya. Neither the father nor the brother are as important as money. So excessive growth of materialism, excessive growth of information technology and technique have dehumanized humanity. हमारी ह्यूमैनिटी को उसने डिह्यूमनाइज कर दिया है. एंड द प्लेज ऑफ यूजीन ओनील अटेम्प्ट्स टू एनालाइज, टू इवैल्यूएट एंड इंटरप्रेट द प्रेडिकमेंट ऑफ द मॉडर्न ह्यूमैनिटी. देयर आर सेवरल ओकेजन्स वेयर यूजीन ओनील अपीयर्स टू बी वीक इन हिज आर्ट एंड थॉट, बट द फोर्स ऑफ हिज जीनियस टू रिवील ह्यूमन बीइंग्स इन द लाइट ऑफ रिलेशनशिप्स नेवर बिकम वीक. वो कभी कमजोर पड़ता ही नहीं. And read the plays of Eugene O'Neill and you will find that they are totally committed. The world may be absurd, but man cannot be absurd. The characters of Eugene O'Neill suffer a great deal in their lives. They suffer and suffer and suffer endlessly. Man may be lonely, may be alienated, but he wants to connect humanity, contact humanity. Human beings can proceed right on the road of human relationships. When a man tries to relate to somebody, he loses his stubborn attitude to life and he transcends beyond the narrow cocoons of caste, creed, color, sex, nationality, religion, etc., etc., etc. And hence, man must must learn to relate. And the dramas of Kalidas and Bhavbhuti, etc., etc., we can find the Eugene O'Neill and Shaw are virtually dramas of human relationships. Communalism is not fair. The rich and the poor, the city dweller and the rural folk, the master and the servant should rise above petty self-interest and alienation. Loneliness is not good. So the characters of Eugene O'Neill suffer when they fail to belong. But it is a grand failure. And the failure of Hairy Ape, which you must have read, is a great failure. He cries. Why he cries? Because he wants to get rid of alienation. He believes wholeheartedly that there is no ultimate meaning in the world in which he believes. But he has great faith in the act of living. He cannot transform the world because he does not have the necessary power or strength to do so. He contributes his own part to make the world bearable. He is concerned with his life, relationship and death. He cannot tolerate the lifeless and the mechanical people in the other world. He thinks that he is the only person who belongs in this world. The pride leads him to destruction. Kam, Krodh, Lobh. What are these things? These things open the doors of hell. Yank, जो Hairy Ape आपने पढ़ा होगा, Yank, the protagonist of the play The Hairy Ape, embarks on a tragic journey. He opens the door of the destruction with his own hands, and his self-confidence is shattered. His pride is shattered, and he finds that he is not acceptable even to the gorilla into the cage. It does not accept him, and he meets his tragic end. And he hates to be alienated. He wants to belong. He wants to love. So, the whole play of Eugene O'Neill is a play which throws lights on the importance of human togetherness, master and worker relationship. This also plays a great role in the play of Eugene O'Neill. Now what I'll do, I'll directly go with some of the important plays of Eugene O'Neill, because I have given you extempore lecture on Eugene O'Neill, so that अब आपके माइंड में, आपके कॉन्शियस ब्रेन में, आपके ब्लड में यूजीन ओनील के बारे में इतनी ज्यादा मैंने नॉलेज दे दी है कि आप 100 किताबें ना पढ़ें तो भी कोई भी दिक्कत नहीं है. The most important and the most popular play of Eugene O'Neill is The Hairy Ape. See, हम आपको यहां बताएं, यूजीन ओनील का जो विजन ऑफ लाइफ था वो बेसिकली बहुत ट्रैजिक था, एंड द स्टडी ऑफ हिज प्लेज रिवील that human life is unhappy, and his men and women are maladjusted, they are frustrated, they are spiritually starved, deprived, and in despair. And the individual life is made significant by the struggle. So, he was always little in love with death. It is life he celebrates in his plays, not some of the fanciful versions of it, but tragic, comic, and some reality. He was pained to see the loss of family relationships, and Eugene O'Neill's prominent play, The Hairy Ape, which was published in 1921, is about man's alienation. It is about his homelessness, his anguish, his despair, his insignificance, his objectification. And in this play, we find thirst of human relations. In other words, we can say that Eugene O'Neill exhales the value of relationships, the comradeship of people among the characters. Yank, who is the protagonist, explores man's search for himself and dwells on the problems and the nature of being considered. But he fails every time in being recognized. He needs love from his fellow beings, his passengers in the ship and the world outside, but to his ill-fated destiny. मैथ्यू आर्नल्ड ने कहीं पे लिखा है, आपने पढ़ा होगा, let us be true to one another. कितना सही लिखा है, कितना ऐप लिखा है उसने अपनी पोएम में, love, let us be true to one another, let us be true to each other. क्यों लिखा है और कैसे देखिए ये लाइन यूजीन ओनील के ड्रामाज में कैसे सेट हो रही हैं. दिस इज एक्चुअली विच यूजीन ओनील लॉन्ग्स. यही लव, लेट अस बी ट्रू टू ईच अदर, यूजीन ओनील इज लॉन्गिंग फॉर. but could not get in this selfish world. And through his plays, he shows man battling with harsh environment and with his own inner passion. Yang's journey from the Stoke hole to the zoo shows that the human relationships and love do not carry any meaning to this world, and the man's alienation is incurable and can belong neither to this world nor to any other people. The hairy ape is, as I told you a few minutes back, is Eugene O'Neill's hairy ape is like T.S. Eliot's wasteland. He too is concerned with the loss of identity of the individual in the dehumanized industrial mechanical society, marked by the heroism, by the erosion of all the spiritual values. And Yak embarks on a tragic journey where he opens the door of his destruction with his own hands, where his self-confidence is shattered. Eugene O'Neill himself was so much disillusioned by this world that once he said, उसने खुद कहा है, Yank is really yourself and myself. Yank तुम भी हो, Yank कहीं न कहीं हम भी हैं. And these observations leave no doubt as to Eugene O'Neill's intentions about furnishing a profoundly serious comment on human predicament. His plays are sometimes closely patterned on his life. And he got, however, really close to an Irish stoker by the name Driscoll. Eugene O'Neill explained the origin of the hairy ape somewhere in the interview in the American magazine. कहीं पे उसने ये भी लिखा है किस प्रकार से उसने hairy ape लिखा है. And in this play, the main character, a ship's stoker, suddenly realizes that the people on the upper deck are not at all conscious of him. They pass by him without watching him, without seeing him. So उसको गुस्से में या कह लो दुखी में, he tries to make friends with an ape, but he himself becomes the ape's victim. Eugene O'Neill has extended a cordial hand to humanity's dreams and plays which deal with the problems of human personality. The protagonist aspires for human values, aspires for a sense of loving and caring, but he is unable to achieve it in spite of his many hardships. The hairy ape was propaganda in the sense that it was a symbol of man who had lost his old harmony with nature, the harmony which he used to have as an animal and has not yet acquired in a spiritual way. So I think this is more than enough to describe about the hairy ape. Now I'll take one more very important play which is known as Morning Becomes Electra. Morning, M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G, Morning Becomes Electra, which is again a very important play by Eugene O'Neill. And this is one of the most magnificent achievements. It is simply clear that Morning Becomes Electra is a genuine tragedy of human relationships where nobody wants to live in the isolation perpetually. Almost all the dramas of Eugene O'Neill belong to the category where sense of belongingness is a major problem. Morning Becomes Electra is a study of ingrown passions, seeking revenge and justice. His characters miserably fail in the human comradeship, but they cannot live also without it. Every character is longing for love and security, but ultimately failing to get it. Almost all his favorite themes find an artistic expression here. Man's quest for love, peace, happiness, which forms the root of his existence. The tragic conflict between the human aspirations and the forces preventing their realization. The inevitable clash between illusion and reality, between life and death, between war and peace, between past and present, between guilt and innocence, and between alienation and belongingness. Eugene O'Neill is a lover and worshipper of humanity and the promoter of good human relationships. कुछ अपने ही शब्दों में उसने कहीं लिखा है, the playwright of today must dig at the roots of sickness of today as he feels it. The death of the old God and the failure of science and materialism to give any satisfactory new one for the surviving primitive religious instinct to find a meaning of life in and to the comfort it fears of death. Mourning Becomes Electra explicitly deals with the theme which I have just discussed with you. And the dramatist involves in the soul searching and the portrays the characters to a meaningful pattern in the life. The play shows its utter dissatisfaction of the status quo and it strives for an ideal situation. Eugene O'Neill digs deeper into the diseases and sickness of his characters like Christine, Lavinia, Peter, Orrin, Hazel, and Captain Brandt. These characters suffer from the materialistic tendencies of America. Mourning Becomes Electra shows many signs of good experimentation. O'Neill is more of a poet than a philosopher. This is the main cause of his originality. He does not copy the old models of Greek and Latin. He does not copy the Shakespearean model, but he finds the characters in the web of American materialism and the scientific progress. And the dramatist tries to answer the many burning questions of his times through the portrayal of the characters. Clear? Now we will see the third drama of Eugene O'Neill, that is Desire Under the Elms, जिसको मैंने short में अभी 2 लाइन बताया था. And this play, Eugene O'Neill's Desire Under the Elm, is actually considered to be a true American historical play, which is a tale of ancient desire and violence structured around many centers of meaning. And being a family drama, it presents human relationships in their true perspectives. So the characters of this play, they long for again comradeship and they become totally lonely and alienated. And man encountered nothingness at every step, and a malignant shadow of emptiness hovered over him as he set out to discover the meaning of life. The hostile universe made him cringe in terror, and he sought shelter in the human company. According to some critic, I'm not able to remember the name of that philosopher or critic. किसी ने लिखा है, Desire Under the Elms combines all the elements which is typical of Eugene O'Neill, the crude elemental passions of people who harbor the seeds of their own destruction, the brilliant psychological insight into the love-hate relationship of father and son, husband and wife, brother and brother, the cosmic loneliness of man, the hardness of God, and the final acceptance of an inescapable fate. आप समझ रहे होंगे कि कितना आपको मैं डिटेल्स में और कितना माइन्यूट समझा रहा हूं. And yes, O'Neill was very much influenced by the Greek tragedy, which is clearly manifested in the play Desire Under the Elms. He was conversant with the Hippolytes and media of Euripides, where a woman falling in love with her stepson, a mother murdering her 2 young sons for revenge, while the theme and the characters of Desire Under the Elms were unconscious expressions of Eugene O'Neill's own biography. Its setting and its atmosphere stemmed from his immediate surroundings and personal relationships. Eugene O'Neill deals with men and women not as convention of the stage, not even as they should be, but exactly as he sees them, far too often creatures blindly, helplessly driven by the forces they have not the character to withstand. अब हम आपको बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज बताने जा रहे हैं. While studying this play from many angles, one major perspective of the title is of the Desire Under the Elms is desire. And the word desire helps us to understand the theme. It is this desire which not only binds two people but also makes the friendship or the relationship change into love and hatred. Eugene O'Neill, with this title, speaks a lot about the content and the hidden meanings. And the first term, desire, has got various connotations in this play. And when we looked into them, we will realize how apt and symbolic the title of the play is. And in the broader sense, desire signifies possessive instinct or passion. And the first place, the term desire denotes gold for Simon and Peter, who mention it time and again in the course of the first part. तो अगर आप ओरिजिनल ड्रामा पढ़ें तो आपको बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. हमने तो इसका ओरिजिनल ड्रामा भी पढ़ा हुआ है एमए में, हमारे यहाँ प्रिस्क्राइब था यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ इलाहाबाद में. So this is all about Eugene O'Neill, the three great plays, and I think I'm becoming breathless now to continue further. So now I would just wish that आप लोग बहुत ध्यान से, बहुत पेशेंस से, बहुत बहुत इच्छा से, बहुत आपको अच्छा लगा होगा. लेक्चर को सुन रहे थे, मेरे ख्याल से लेफ्ट और राइट देखने का मौका भी नहीं मिला होगा आपको. Any questions? I'll just have a glass of water and you just drop some questions if you have. And एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर जरूर दीजिएगा, तब मैं आपको कुछ और बताऊंगा. जल्दी दीजिएगा कि जो मैंने जिस स्टाइल में आज पढ़ाया, हर क्लास या हर कुछ कुछ क्षणों में आपको दिखता होगा कि सर, हर क्लास कैसी सर की अलग होती है, कभी ऐसी, कभी वैसी, कभी वैसी. तो आज की जो क्लास थी वो आपको कैसी लगी, कैसा आपको समझ में आया? आपको ऐसा लगा कि लेक्चर के बाद यू आर एक्चुअली यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ विच, अगर ये लेक्चर मिस हो जाता तो क्या होता? सपोज करिए इसकी रिकॉर्डिंग का सिस्टम नहीं है फॉर एग्जाम्पल. तो आई जस्ट वॉन्ट फ्यू वर्ड्स, जिससे कि आपका अगर सही उत्तर आता है तो मैं आपको कुछ बताऊंगा. आई जस्ट टेक अ 1 मिनट ब्रेक. इस 1 मिनट के अंदर जितने स्टूडेंट्स मैसेज कर सकते हो प्लीज मुझे मैसेज करें. आई विल कम बैक इन 1 मिनट. सो हमने क्यों पूछा था आपसे ये आपको क्लास कैसी लगी? तो मैंने इसलिए पूछा था कि जो क्लास लॉन्गर सेशन ऑफ टाइम के लिए चलती है, जो हम पढ़ा चले आ रहे हैं पिछले 20 वर्षों से अपने ऑफलाइन क्लास में, सो द क्लास स्ट्रक्चर इज लाइक दिस, जो कि लाइव में शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन में वो पॉसिबल नहीं हो पाता है. सो बट आई ट्राई टू गिव यू द बेस्ट अकॉर्डिंग टू द नीड एंड द सपोर्ट ऑफ दैट क्वेश्चन. अब क्या है, देखिए कि आप सभी के पास स्टडी मटेरियल है हमारा. अमेरिकन की फाइल खोलिएगा, अमेरिकन की फाइल में कंटेंट में देखिएगा सारे डिटेल्स उसमें एक एक ऑथर का है. अब उसको वहां पे जाकर के कंप्लीट करना शुरू कर दीजिएगा आज से, जितने भी ऑथर्स हैं, क्योंकि उनको यहां पढ़ाना का उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है कि एक एक ऑथर को कोई इसका सेंस नहीं है. और बीच बीच में जहां हम जिसको समझेंगे कि आज इसके बारे में बता दें, आज इसके बारे में बता दें, दैट आई विल ऑलवेज कीप इन माइंड. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, सो आई एम नाउ अ बिट आई वांट टू रिलैक्स, बहुत थक गया हूं. सो आई विल मीट यू अगेन टुमारो. टिल देन, गुड बाय. One thing more I want to tell you. I just thought to tell you that today even few girls of this class, they rang me and they have taken the mock test from my website osnacademy.com, जहां पे ऑनलाइन टेस्ट सीरीज का सेक्शन बना हुआ है. और अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि अब समय आ गया है कि आई हैव टू स्टार्ट इट, देन डू इन्फॉर्म मी एंड do take that mock test which is to be solved on your computer laptop. प्रॉपर जैसा एग्जामिनेशन होता है, तो जब जिसको लगे तब वो हमसे बता सकता है. ठीक है, ओके देन.